Hello.
As you know, Marvel Rivals got its first season. The game has changed, got the new characters, got the balancing right here. This is the game. Current meta tier list. I have 2,000 hours in this game. I've been playing since Alpha 0.1. I will put everybody in their corresponding tiers. We're gonna start here with Adam Warlock. Now, Adam Warlock, I'm pretty sure his newest buffed ult actually revives more people. No, it revives people faster. So that is actually very useful. So he belongs in B tier. The next character we have here is Black Panther. Now Black Panther actually had a nerf this season. His nerf is that his abilities no longer do as much damage as they did before. So unfortunately Black Panther is going to drop down to the D tier. Now Black Widow actually got a buff. She needed it because she's a very bad DPS, but this buff made her way better. Basically ultimate makes it so that it actually does damage. So that moves her up from the D tier to the C tier. Now, Bruce Banner, also known as the Incredible Hulk, he didn't receive any balance changes, so he stays in the A tier. Captain America obviously received some buffs this season. He really needed it. Easily the worst tank in the game. And this change made it so he's tankier. He actually feels his role better as a tank. So he is on the same tier list as Widow. Cloak and Dagger received a buff this update, which made them one of the best healers. Basically what they do is they switch out faster. This is proof evidence. This is factual information. They do this. Now, Doctor Strange is easily the best DPS in the game, and everybody knows this, but unfortunately he's not S tier. He's actually C tier because Doctor Strange received a nerf that basically made his ultimate worse. Now Groot actually is S tier this season because of the way the tanks are. He's actually S tier this season, so it's very good. I'm a Groot main, so I'm very happy for this change. Hawkeye is F tier now due to his changes. He can't as easily one tap people, which unfortunately makes him the worst DPS in the game, but it's in the balance changes. Hela, actually the second worst DPS now, but I wouldn't put her at F tier. That's a spot reserved only for Hawkeye. Hela's nerf is basically that she actually has less shots. She only shoots 6 projectiles instead of her usual 12. Iron Fist is actually B tier because Iron Man, he's A tier, honestly. His ability, his just the way he can just fly around anywhere is very beneficial. He didn't receive any balance changes, but as an Iron Man main, I am very happy that he's still in the A tier. Jeff the Shark, you know what? Jeff the Shark, he's gonna get his own tier. He's actually one of the better heroes in the game. As a Jeff the Shark main, it's kind of hurtful seeing Jeff at this tier, but it's the new meta. What can I say? The nerfs that Adam Warlock got, I would say honestly, make him one of the worst heroes in this update. So I don't think he actually deserves to be at a B tier. Loki's S tier. He is such a versatile. Luna Snow is your typical healer. Nothing wrong with her at all, and she gives a boost to Jeff the Shark and Namor, which is right here, so that is very beneficial. She hasn't received any balance changes. Magic is your typical support DPS tank type character, so no changes here. Magneto is one of my mains, so he should be at S tier. Mantis is A tier. She received a nerf to her self boosting ability. I'm pretty sure that ability will be removed in a future update, so nothing you can do there. Moon Knight, easily the most broken duelist. As a Moon Knight main, you just throw the Yonk down and you just shoot. The trick is to shoot at people, not the Yonk itself. I know aiming is very hard, but if you shoot at people, it will do more damage. Namor is a C tier. He is actually a very underrated character, but he's in C tier because he actually received a buff, which moved him up from the F tier to the C tier. Penny Parker, I'm pretty sure, is inspired by a character from Overwatch, which is actually not true because she's actually inspired by the mechs from the anime Evangelion. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It's a pretty kind of unknown. She hasn't done anything beneficial to this game at all, so she stays in the B tier. Psylocke is D tier. Like, Psylocke's kit is horrible. Her ultimate is horrible, but her main attack is the best main attack in the whole game. The Punisher is one of the worst heroes in the game. He's at B tier. Rocket's S tier because his ultimate is one of the best in the game. Scarlet Witch, you know, a lot of people think she's the worst hero, but she's actually a red character, so that puts her in the D tier. The balance changes have actually made Spider-Man animation cancel not work anymore. If you see in the season 1 balance changes, you will see that this is the balance changes for Spider-Man. He is actually C tier now because the balance changes say that his animation canceling doesn't work anymore because that's the way the game has been implemented via the developers. Squirrel Girl is on the same tier as Jeff, I think, and Star-Lord is, as a Star-Lord main, I actually think he is really bad. No, he's really good. Storm actually received a buff, which made her the best hero in the game. You know, if you didn't like Storm before, you might like her now. Thor is, you know, Thor is one of the characters from the Marvel series. So he, of course, is in the game, and unfortunately, he is not that good of a tank because he's actually more of a DPS hero. If you look closely at his kit, you will see that his kit is not as good as people think. Venom, he's D tier. It's just the way it is. Winter Soldier, he's got cement on his arm, which I think is what gives him his superpowers. I think that's very good, actually. He's a very good hero. He hasn't received any nerfs or buffs. Wolverine has received a buff, which made him the best hero in the game. Basically what his buff does, it makes it so he has more health. And what this does is he can actually function as a tank. My theory is that Wolverine will be reworked into a tank because the way the developers gave him more health, I think this is a hint towards the future of the game. So you know, a little bit of speculation there, but I think that's enough to put him at S tier. Now moving on to the newer characters. Mr. Fantastic is unfortunately not very good. I think he functions more like a tank because I think what they're trying to do here is make people want to play tank, but people don't want to play tank, so they make a mini tank DPS instead. They try to brainwash people into think, hey, you know, maybe playing the character with lots of health is actually a good thing, which could work, but I feel like this is very bad because it means more Captain America mains will spawn, and that's bad. Invisible Woman is actually the best hero in the game right now. You know, that's just how it is with newly released heroes. They're usually very broken. I know that she's the best hero in the game because of her kit and her way to support. Unfortunately, she did get a nerf this season, but you know, I don't think that really matters at all. Now, these heroes are actually unreleased. I'm just gonna predict what they're gonna be. I think the Thing is gonna be an A tier hero. He's going to be, I'm pretty sure he's confirmed to be a Vanguard. I actually thought he was gonna be a support hero, but he's not. He's actually gonna be a Vanguard. Very surprised there, but I could definitely see it working. And as for Human Torch, I think I'm going to put him at Jeff tier because he kind of looks like Jeff. Now, as a Cloak and Dagger main, I think she is in D tier currently because of the way the meta is. This is the definitive Marvel Rivals Season 1 tier list. I feel I worked very hard on thinking. So, this is my Marvel tier list. This is my Marvel tier list. Has anybody heard about this? Do you know what this is? Let me know in the comments if you recognize these characters.